I've been excited about this chapter since Friday because I got the spoilers on Friday and I was just like, no, this is insane. And obviously I waited till Sunday today, the official release. My Hero Academia chapter 274. My goodness, we got to talk about it. So okay, cool. Endeavor, probably yeah. Endeavor. Okay, I am now like. Okay, not even now to be honest, because Endeavor's been putting in work, guys. Like, I'm just convinced that he's worthy of #1. Now, obviously, people are going to be like, oh, but Sam, like, no, Endeavor's not as strong as All Might. And I'm like, okay, of course. But All Might being #1 and Endeavor being #1 is two very different things. Like, All Might was All Might, you know? That's like saying, Superman being #1 and then let's say he gets a replacement and it's freaking like Batman. Well, okay, no, maybe not Batman, but like someone else, because All Might literally it was the Superman of My Hero Academia in the sense that like he was the strongest, but All Might wasn't just the strongest, like his strength was on a whole nother level, so it was just like a different playing field. So yeah, in my opinion, Endeavor is easily #1, and even in regards to like seeing everyone else that every other pro hero like Mirko, who else, like Isaiah Sensei, President Mike, all of those kind of heroes, even like Midnight, Mount Lady, and yeah, and Kamui Woods, all those other heroes, like seeing Endeavor in comparison to them is like, yeah, Endeavor, like I can't see any other pro being #1. Like, not only is Endeavor strong, but the way that he uses his fire side, like his versatility of his quirk. I remember watching a video ways back in the sense that seeing how like Endeavor uses fire side in comparison to Todoroki, because Todoroki just like shoots like that. But anyway, this is an Endeavor video, this ain't that, this is a review of My Hero Academia 274. So this chapter we see Shigaraki basically. I don't know how many quirks the man uses in this chapter, so he used he didn't really use Decay, but we know he has Decay. So Decay, regeneration, he used some air pressure kind of thing, and then I'd say probably even like strength capabilities. I'm not really sure, because he used Endeavor comes to it like his face and he's about to use like the jet attack or something like that, but Shigaraki's just like, not today, and like just puts his hand to his face, no touching, nothing like that, but you see like a gleam. Obviously in the anime it will probably be a bit more better, we can see what's actually going on. But like Shigaraki just basically says like, no sir, and then Endeavor just like goes flying. It's crazy. I'm thinking it's one of the attacks that All For One was using against All Might. I can't remember what it was, not the bone. I don't know, it was like the wind pressure one. Like All For One would just be using these wind pressure ones at All Might, and All Might just getting pushed all over the place. Now obviously when All For One used his quirks, because All For One was like obsessed with quirks, so every time he used something, like he'd call it, he'd be like bone magnifying by #4, this, that, like he'd be literally saying it. Obviously Shigaraki doesn't probably even know the quirks that he's using, like, because he's not the one that took it, so he's just like, you know, using it I guess instinctively. I'm not really sure, to be fair. Like, I would really like to get a bit more just a bit of coverage, I guess, or just like what's actually going on. Like, how does Shigaraki know these quirks? Like, how's he able to use it? Or is it just happening on, you know, like on instinct? For example, I'm sure the regeneration, like when he's getting fired, he's just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? If I have a regeneration quirk, let's try it out. Like, no, I don't think that happened. I think it just I think some of these quirks are, you know, just coming on instinct, most likely. But yeah, like, so even when Shigaraki does the whole jumping up, like the Hulk jump, I was just like, no way, this is ridiculous. So yeah, I think I'm more of a fanboy of Shigaraki than I ever was. Like, don't get me wrong, when Shigaraki awakened, or let's say his quirk came back to normal or whatever, during the My Villain Academia arc, I was loving Shigaraki. But now seeing him, just like, it's crazy. I've got one question though. Did anyone realize that when Shigaraki, like, he regenerated, like, his face came back and all that kind of stuff, he still had the, like, the rashes on his face, which was really weird, because, or like the scars or whatever, because obviously we know it's like from a kid he always had it and he always be scratching his face and that. But if my man had regeneration, surely that would come back. Now I know a lot of people, there's a theory of that like these scratches and these itches are actually a what's the word, disadvantage, you could say, or it's like a not a mutation, like a what am I looking for? Like a drawback to his quirk, you could say. And I know people are thinking like, if Shigaraki uses decay so much, maybe it decays in his own self. I'm not sure if Horikoshi's going down that route, but all I can say is we know that in My Hero Academia, quirks have disadvantages. Like, you know, the bodies has its limits, the quirks, it's not all perfect. And that's what I really loved about this series, because, for example, you may have someone like freaking, Todoroki with ice and fire, but, you know, the ice, like, is like he's feeling on his body, you know? Maybe he obviously probably has some immunity backed up to it, he has some resistance, but sooner or later, the fire is burning him. So as the ice is cooling him, as we see with Endeavor, like, he's literally burning himself when he was fighting, Hood. Now, even with, obviously, Deku, like, bones just breaking, so there must be a drawback to Shigaraki using his quirk. And speaking of drawbacks, there must be drawbacks to using All For One. There has to be. Like, I know we didn't really know too much about All For One using his quirks, and like, we know he was weak, but that was because of the fight that him and All Might had before. And it pains me to this day that we haven't got a flashback from that. Like, you think such a fight of that stature, like him versus Shimura Nana and All Might coming in, like, you'd think seeing that would be crazy. Like, you'd think we'd want to see that, you know? Like, that's one of the things I want to see, man. But anyway, other than that, what was I saying? Yeah, Shigaraki must. Because most quirks, there is always drawbacks. Think of Mirio. Obviously, Mirio's quirks, like, we don't talk about that one. But, like, when Mirio had his quirk, you know, when he activated it, he couldn't sense anything. Even his whole sense of gravity, his eye, like, sight, smell, everything went. The only thing that he could have was the sense of like falling or weight. Like, that's the only thing he was aware of. So we know that there's drawbacks. So there must be some drawbacks to Shigaraki's decay, and I'm begging to assume that there's probably some drawbacks to All For One. Like, come on, you're using all those quirks. There has to be something. You know, like, the whole point of Nomus, like, so many Nomus were brain dead. Like, a lot of Nomus are brain dead because they have so many quirks pushed into them. But I don't know, maybe, because obviously the whole fact of All For One is to take all these quirks, so maybe he is like the special, he is like the limited one, like, not the limited one, limited edition, like the unique one where, like, yeah, there are no drawbacks, I can take as much quirks as I want. And we know from All For One that he can use and combine quirks. He was playing around with the combinations when he was fighting All Might. But yeah, what else did we see in this chapter? So basically this chapter was the Endeavor was fighting Shigaraki. And I can't lie, it weren't like evenly matched and Endeavor was putting him like, no. But it was a good fight. I liked it. I really did. Just even we saw Hellcat and we saw some of like, just the Jet Fist, but just the way that Endeavor is strong, man. I know a lot of people may not like his character, you know, the whole regards to him, like, redemption arc and that. I haven't really spoken too much on that. I haven't spoken about that in, like, 200 chapters. But, yeah, no, I think Endeavor is on the process of being redeeming. Is redeeming his character. I really do think that's what Horikoshi is doing with Endeavor. But yeah, no, the fight was pretty sick. The fight really was. And obviously just seeing Shigaraki really just using some of the other quirks was pretty cool. Now, with Shigaraki, this is the one thing which I want to talk about here. I know this video is getting a bit long, but this chapter was mad. So, with Shigaraki, he's got this voice in his head, right? And it's like saying, get one for all, get it, and all this kind of stuff. And I think he even got a voice in the previous chapter as well. I don't think this is necessarily All For One. Okay, and what I mean by that is I don't think it's the quirk. I generally think that is All For One speaking. Just how the first user of One For All speaks to Deku, or Black Whip guy speaks to Deku. No, and Shimura Nana hasn't spoken to Deku yet. But yeah, I don't think it's the quirk. I generally think it's All For One. I know there's a theory of like people thinking All For One's gonna come and just like take control of Shigaraki's body. I'm not really sure. To be honest, I don't really know what All For One's end game is here. Like, part of me feels like it's just too good to... I still can't believe the fact that he gave, like, the original quirk to Shigaraki. Now, bear in mind, it's not like what All Might done to Deku. All Might literally gave his quirk to Deku. So, when we were seeing All Might use All For, One For All fighting All Might, All For One, it wasn't necessarily like a duplicate. Like, Deku doesn't have a duplicate, nor did All Might hold on to a duplicate. No, like, All Might was just literally running on empty, basically, which is still crazy. Just the fact, yeah, just everything about All Might's character is kind of interesting as well. But like, yeah, he was basically running on fumes. Like, he literally passed it, and that's why they used the whole. That's why Horikoshi used the whole image of a fire. Like, I've given you the fire, but the embers are still burning, and I'm using those embers. So that's basically All Might. This is not the same with All For One and Shigaraki. For example, All For One can get healed, and All For One will still be using All For One, if that makes sense. He can still have all these quirks and so forth. It's a duplicate. All For One has his duplicate. Now, maybe, I think the duplicate may not be as strong as the original, but I'm not too sure about that. I don't know where I'm getting that from. Is that from one of the previous chapters? Because I remember Dr. Ujiko talking about that, but I can't remember. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so for example, if All For One came back, like let's say he broke out of prison, Shigaraki freed him, whatever, there's some crazy regeneration quirk or some healing thing to All For One, All For One will still be using his quirk. It won't be embers like All Might, it'll be just a duplicate of it. So I really don't know what his game is. I know there's a theory that All For One wants Shigaraki's body, because obviously like Shigaraki's younger, Shigaraki is like just in a better condition, to be honest. Like the man, All For One's face is gone, but like it's just like scarred over like that. So yeah, and he's got tubes coming out of him and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there is that prevailing theory. I'm not really too sure about it. I don't know, but I'm also not on the side that All For One's given everything to Shigaraki, even though it looks like it has. But I just feel like it's too good to be true. Like, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So we see obviously Shigaraki using Search. And the fact that we even see Ragdoll in this chapter, I don't think Ragdoll's getting Search back, man. There is that whole... we haven't really asked ourselves that. Can one get their quirk... Can one get their stolen quirk back? How is that done? I know, like, the movies talk about some... Or, like, the movies have some kind of link to things. Obviously, like, Nine can take quirks and that. I haven't watched the movie, so I don't know. So I can't really talk too much on that. Or if I know some people have been speaking about it, in regards to this chapter as well, and just All For One or Shigaraki as a character. But yeah, I don't really know, to be honest, because I haven't watched the film, so I can't really chat too much about that. So yeah, can a stolen quirk be taken back forcefully? I'm not even sure. So yeah, I really don't think Ragdoll's getting her quirk back. Sorry, love. But the fact that Shigaraki uses it in this chapter, that gave me suspense. The first time I read this chapter, I was just like, my heart. Because it was just like, what's happening? What's going on? And the fact that Shigaraki can just cover so much mileage in a jump is crazy. Now, fast forward to the end of the chapter when, you know, Deku overhears through the mic that... And, okay, this is which is mad, by the way. So Deku overhears that, you know... Shigaraki's talking about One For All, and Endeavor's like, One For All? And then Burning's like, One For what? And then obviously, Deku's just like, what? So, Deku, yeah, this is mad, because this is like this is basically the plot in any comic book, or any movie, or any superhero kind of thing, where, like, your identity is getting revealed now, to an extent, because basically no one knows what One For All is. Even when All Might had it, no one knew it was called One For All. They just called All Might having like a strength quirk, basically. I think, I can't remember. But I remember there was a chapter and All Might was basically saying like, yeah, no one knows about this. We've kept it cool in interviews. I just talk about how I've got like a strength quirk and I can do all this kind of stuff. Like, no one knows about the whole thing of like passing down and how people can inherit it. No one has any clue about this. It's only like Deku, Bakugo, All Might, who else? Obviously One For All, Shigaraki. So like, yeah, not many people know about this. So the fact that Deku's now saying, oh, he may be coming from me, Endeavor's like, what's going on here? And if obviously Endeavor, all of these guys are gonna find out about Deku. That's why Bakugo is just like, you can't tell everyone yet. That's why they run away, because if everyone finds out like that Shigaraki's after Deku, then, you know, like the heroes need to protect the civilians, and Deku like juggling too much. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. I think this is a pivotal moment. To be honest, I said this like 30, 40 chapters ago, because in my mind, I'm like, how does, when Deku got Black Whip, people should have clocked onto something. To be honest, when Deku was spending time with All Might, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, your quirk's similar to All Might. People are calling you All Might Jr. and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, bro, connect the damn lines. Like, connect it. So definitely this is going to be really interesting. Like, this is a big thing for the story. Now, people are saying, is this the last arc and that? I'm not really sure, to be honest. All I can say is I remember ages ago, Horikoshi in an interview saying he's 50% done. Now, maybe I'm paraphrasing, or maybe I'm misquoting him, but I do remember him saying something along the lines of that. And I definitely remember him saying like he's literally planned out the whole story, which is good. But then I remember like an interview where either Horikoshi said, I want My Hero Academia to surpass One Piece or be as long as One Piece. So yeah, I can't really remember too much on that. But basically, this chapter was ridiculous. The fight between Endeavor and Shigaraki, crazy. Shigaraki using Search to find Deku. So we're possibly going to be getting a Deku and Bakugo versus Shigaraki. Or maybe a Deku, Bakugo and Endeavor versus Shigaraki. Now, is some heroes going to die in this fight? Most likely. I know Endeavor's on the chopping board. The death flags around this guy has been immense. I don't want him to die, but we'll have to see. It's what it is. Now, don't forget, Gigantomatch is also coming as well, bringing Dabi, Mr. Compass, I can't believe I forgot his name last week, Toga, and all those guys. We don't know if he's bringing, like, all the other generals as well, so, like, Getten and, like, Redestro. We're not really too sure, but these next couple of chapters are going to be mad. So yeah, guys, that's enough for me. This video has been long enough. Please let me know your thoughts and comments below. What do you think is going to happen next week? What do you think about this chapter? If you're new to my channel, subscribe for reviews of My Hero Academia. I'll see you next week with that greatness. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because sometimes, you know, YouTube doesn't notify you guys when the video drops. So peace out, guys. Goodbye.